make sure you guys check out our channel partner, GamerSupps. Go to gamersupps.gg and use code ZACH for 10% off. Keto-friendly, 0 cal, 0 sugar, 0 carbs. I drink it to keep myself going, to keep myself energized. Tonight, this afternoon, well, it's not night. Oh, it's tonight. This afternoon, we're drinking dragon fruit again. And I'm drinking way too much for today, probably. But you know what? It's the equivalent caffeine amount of 1 cup of black coffee. So if you're caffeine sensitive, you're worried about kind of thing, it's just a cup of coffee. That's all it is for caffeine people. Real simple. But there's all sorts of great flavors to pick from. There's blueberry, root, blue raz, all sorts of great things. So check them out. And if you don't want the caffeine, they also have caffeine-free flavors. So check them out. Some of you guys have been using the code. I appreciate it. We see it. We love it. We're going to start right after this. I can't find my hat. It's really throwing me off. I'm used to having my black hat. I can't find it. I can't find my hat. It's a national emergency. People, good evening. Or, sorry, good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday show. It's Wednesday, May 24th. What happened to May? It's gonna be May. It's May. It's no longer May. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but it's been kind of smoky here. We have a lot of forest fires going on in Alberta right now. But it looks like things are under control. Got some rain the other day, which is good. I'm just checking my levels because I don't trust this thing.
Yes, science!
I think we're good here. All right. And by thing, I mean, by trusting, I mean leaving it alone. I took my cameras down and stuff like that. I was trying to rearrange some things before today, and it didn't work out. So we're still in the process. People, welcome. Wednesday, May 24th, and I spent 3 full days with the Pixel 7a. And for those of you that follow me on the socials and whatnot, you know that I've had this since Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning. So full day Friday, full day Saturday, full day Sunday. And a big shout out to the good people at StreamYard. They're the ones that are powering this live stream. Very simple to use. You pick a microphone, you pick a camera, and away you go. No software to download, nothing to install. You just use your web browser. You can bring up to 10 people in with you. You can bring sound effects.
All right, all right, all right.
Music, all sorts of great stuff. Whatever you want to do. They have a great repurposing tool now where you can clip out sections and push it to Reels, to Shorts, to TikTok. You can download your streams and edit them if you need to. You can try them out for free. Use the referral link we got down in the live stream description there. So thanks again, StreamYard, for taking care of us. They're an amazing partner, amazing people. Love them lots. They sent me the duck, whose name is Puddles. We found this out the other day, Puddles. So thank you. Thanks, StreamYard. I appreciate you guys. You guys saw the stream title. You guys saw I put uh-oh with the thumbnail. And, you know, the title tonight's this afternoon's stream is here's why I say that. Here's why I don't know how other Android manufacturers are going to even come close to beating or competing with this going forward. Now I know, hold on. I know you're probably already typing away there. This phone, that phone, whatever. I'm talking about specifically North American available phones through carriers, not necessarily what you can import. Now I know, we all know that there's great things out there from other Chinese carriers or manufacturers and whatnot. I absolutely acknowledge that, but I'm talking about North American carrier devices. So I guess specifically, I'm kind of looking at Samsung, for example, and going, right? And I know some people will say, well, with the A54, for example, and things like that. You know, we will definitely look at some of those comparisons and whatnot, perhaps this afternoon, and you know, going forward and whatnot. But I wanted to really kind of highlight some of the features and things that I have really loved about using with this phone. And I am dead serious when I say this. I am completely serious about this when I say this. I am so serious about this. I couldn't be more serious. Here's how serious I am. Seriously. I am so serious about swapping out and getting rid of my Pixel 7 Pro for the Pixel 7a. I am so serious. I couldn't be more serious. Seriously. How serious is he? I'm going to go through that. And this is not me trying to be shocking and trying to get you riled up and getting the clicks and everything. I've had such an enjoyable experience. And it's not because it's the newest thing. It's just I love the form factor. I love the flat screen. The camera. It makes it seriously? Seriously? Yeah, man, seriously. And at $600 Canadian, $500 American, even if you go through a carrier, you might be able to probably get it for free or something like that. This is such tremendous value. It really is. Now I know for some of you, oh, another slab device. Oh, it's so boring. Okay, fine, cool. That's not for you. This is not for you. This isn't necessarily for the spec nerds and whatnot, but for maybe you guys know I hate saying these words, the everyday consumer. You know, maybe for the everyday tech person, you know, someone who's upgrading from Pixel 4, Pixel 5. This is, let me tell you, man. We had some friends here on, yesterday. Was it yesterday? What was yesterday? Tuesday? Was it Monday? No. When were those people here? No, Monday. Monday, we had people just randomly drop by because of circumstances with my family. We had a house full of people all of a sudden, and you know, I had the phone sitting there, and you know, we're talking to them, and people are asking me like, "What is that?" I hand them the Pixel 7a, and they're like, "What?" You know, and they're comparing against this device or that device, their older, you know, whatever they have, kind of thing, and they were. Yeah, I showed them some of the pictures and some of the videos. Like, I'm going to show you guys, and they were just like, "Wow!" Like, seriously. When I showed some of the pictures and video on our TV, so I used the Chromecast feature on here and cast some of the photos to the TV, they were like, "Wow, that took that." Yeah, this took that. So, you know, it's not for everybody, but I think it's for most people. That's what I'll say about the Pixel 7a. All right. Now, why so serious? It says, if you're bored of your Pixel slap phone, Fold is around the corner. Yeah, that's true. Very, very true. Yeah, we're going to... I don't know if I'll be getting hold of the Fold. I've made a request. Most likely not. The Fold is not officially for sale in Canada through Google Canada. It's kind of a Japan and US thing. They did last time Google did this was the Pixel 5a. So... you know, if I can get my hands on it, whether it's a display unit or somebody else's, then cool. I'll do whatever content I can do with it, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, people, let's jump into... Well, first I want to show you guys kind of where I was over the last few days here. So I'm going to show you guys just a real quick view here. So this right here is Google Maps. And I live right here. This is Calgary. This is like you can't see the name because it's all the spots I have. And I was out here in the mountains in Banff. Okay, so if we zoom out even more, so here is Canada, province of Alberta, Montana down here, Washington, Oregon, Wyoming, North Dakota, Manitoba over here, Saskatchewan. Go further east, Toronto, Montreal over here. Consider this a little lesson, a little geography lesson, I guess, if you will. Right? So let's zoom in a little bit more. For those of you that don't understand exactly where I am, I'm right here. I'm in Calgary. And then I was over here in Banff National Park. Okay? Up here is Edmonton. We don't care about them because that's where the Oilers play. Okay? Leave it at that. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through some of the pictures and videos and things like that, because let's face the fact. Let's just be completely, upfront here and whatnot. Most people are they want a phone that takes awesome pictures, whether it's selfie, video, main camera feature, whatnot. And you guys know that it has that awesome 64 megapixel main shooter in there, and the wide, and the selfie and whatnot. If you were on Twitter or Instagram, TikTok, you've probably seen most of these, but there's some different ones in here. I've also downloaded some of the video samples as well. So actually, that reminds me, we are going to add in, if I can remember how to do it. Let's see here, present video file. I don't know if I can put all 3 videos up at the same time here, but we are going to try. Okay, I can only do... Looks like I can only do 1 at a time here. And I probably should have preloaded these. So give me a moment here. You guys can stare at that. And we will put the rest of these videos up here. I have a slow motion video to show you guys. I've got selfie. I've got the 4K 30. Let's see here. Open that one. And open this one. So these will be directly loaded into these are directly loaded into StreamYard so that you guys get the full resolution and it looks good and whatnot. So let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was just the 4 videos here. Video file. StreamYard makes this nice and easy. Yes, just the 4 video files. All right. So Craig says we need more budget devices like the 7A. I agree. I think there's a lot. I wouldn't say a lot. There's a good selection right now. Whether it's Samsung, Xiaomi, Poco, whatnot. There doesn't seem to be a lot. There doesn't seem to be a lot with carriers, unless you go back a year or two. I think most carriers, at least the carriers up here in Canada, are carrying at least the last 2 years of stuff. It may differ where you are and whatnot. So. Yeah, or better. Okay, yeah, and that kind of goes back to my initial. Because there's so much packed in here. 90 hertz, the 64 megapixel, the wireless charging, and obviously all the features and whatnot, everything like that. Penny says, I refuse to pay over $1,000 for a phone ever again. Penny, that's a good way to be. And that's why manufacturers, that's a good mentality, because the manufacturers have to step it up and offer more. I think it was Marquez that said a long time ago, cheaper phones are getting really good. I can't remember what the exact analogy was, but I mean, he's right. And you know what? It's good that we have things like folding and whatnot, because as manufacturers put all their best stuff into these folding and flipping type phones, we're going to see slabs come down in price. Now, do I think that this kind of phone will disappear? No, I don't think that it ever will. It might be reduced to a point where, the flip, the fold type is the go-to, but I don't think they'll completely disappear. It's good to have that selection. There it is. That's what means there. Good phones are getting cheap, and cheap phones are getting good. Yeah, I don't like the word cheap, but yeah, there you go. Value phones. What do you want to call it, right? So let's oh, I already have that screen up for you guys. Right there. Actually, let's go ahead and remove that. And all right. So, thought this would be kind of fun to go through some photos and whatnot, just really quickly, of our trip out to Banff and whatnot. And the reason why I thought this would be a good comparison is because I think that the kind of customer, the kind of person, the kind of user that's picking up Pixel 7a, he wants to be able to do stuff like this. Just pull it out, take the photo, and just not have to worry about blurriness. Maybe get that quick shot and whatnot. And yes, I realize that most phones can do this and whatnot. But to get the clarity and the details that we're going to get in a lot of these is really quite amazing. So there you go, selfie. Now, this particular selfie, I wanted to really show you guys. I've talked about this before with other devices. You guys know I have clear lenses, or I don't have a frame all on the bottom. Look at this. Pixel 7a. Got that right there. Normally this is blurred out. Sometimes this blurs out, even around here, because there's no thick outer frame, right? And it did a really great job of getting that right there. So that is terrific. It's something I definitely look for. Now, that wouldn't happen with my daughter's glasses. She's got the thicker rims, obviously, and whatnot. So that was a nice portrait. This is a portrait mode photo. We used the portrait mode and caught everything all around the edges and everything like that, okay? So that right there is one of the tests that I look for because I wear glasses and I see it all the time in all my selfies that this would blur out right here. So that is absolutely fabulous that was caught. Yeah. Genos says, I like the consistent color signs just by looking at the thumbnails. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's none of these are edited. None of these are edited. You guys know I don't edit photos. And if I do, I state it pretty clearly. None of these are edited, okay? Yeah, not really the boonies, but yeah, we were out there. There was a couple sections with no cell phone reception. So I gave my wife the phone. I said, here, take pictures and video. So snap some pictures on the way out. And got the kids in the back there. On the way out of Calgary, my son goes, it's orange. It's orange. And I handed him the phone. He took this picture of a Mustang. Orange Mustang. I don't even know what year it is, but yeah, it's orange. It's kind of ironic because it's right by the Home Depot. So they're kind of the same color. So that was good there. This is part of one of the hospital buildings they were building recently, the Foothills Hospital, and it's got just kind of this really unique look to it and everything. So was able to capture that, all the detail. You can see the 16th Avenue sign here. You can read all this down here, all the detail. Calgary This is part of the new Calgary Cancer Center, the Foothills Hospital here in Calgary. So I didn't know it was going to have that look to it, which is kind of cool. My wife took this. I guess that's somebody's trailer, and that's their spare tire there with the cover. I thought that was kind of cool. Did I ever take my son to the car show? No, I did not get a chance to this year. We meant to go to World of Wheels, but I can't remember why we didn't go. I think somebody was sick or something like that. We just didn't want to spread anything. So, moving vehicle going about 110 kilometers an hour, which is probably about 75-ish, maybe 80 miles per hour. Someone do the conversion for me if you want to put it in the chat. My wife took this out the window, and you can see as soon as we got out into the mountains, it was clear. All the smoke is gone. It was completely clear out in the mountains this past. So this is just I was just doing a walkthrough of the chalet, and I apologize I can't make it bigger because I shot it vertically for like short form content. But this is 1080p, 60 FPS, so it should give you guys a good idea of the clarity. Now we do go to ultra wide here, so there we go. Boom, out that back to the ultra wide there. So should have a better idea of what's happening. Let me just go. I'll rewind it here a little bit, and you guys will see when we go to ultra wide. There, right there. Okay, just take so could fit more in the frame there while we're walking around and things like that. But yeah, this is the chalet where we stayed. It's a little dated. The furniture's a little bit old and whatnot, but you kind of get an idea. And the screen that door was straight out of 1978 or something like that. I don't know. But this was our backyard. Basically, right onto the mountain there. A tunnel mountain in the background, I think it was. And everybody unpacking. Had a fireplace. Didn't use it though because it was pretty warm this weekend. These stairs were treacherous. And there's a lot of natural light that come here. So there's no lights on here. There's just natural light coming from the window. Yeah, that they use words like rustic, Penny. Trust me, rustic, classic. You know, ripped furniture and stuff like that kind of thing. Cobwebs in the ceilings. And I was thinking to myself, would it kill it to use a broom to get those down? They said this was a queen size bed. No, this was a double. So we had to get real cozy. And then kind of looking down here on the space. There's my daughter running around there. Video is about 3/4 of the way done here. Yeah, I had to be really careful with these stairs. They were really narrow. Yeah. So I don't know if you're talking about where you are, my Project 13, but this is Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada here, just west of me. About an hour and a half west of me. Nice little washroom. And then a little kitchen area. And then there's a separate little bedroom with a couple little beds for the kids, which worked out really nice. The sofa also pulled out as well. But hopefully this gives you guys an idea of how well the Pixel 7a works with the lighting and whatnot. Like I said, it's all natural light coming in right now. It's a little blown up there, but I think it's kind of what you expect from a camera there. And then coming back out around, and I went to the fridge. And that's it. So that's some video. Again, that was 1080p. That was at 1080p 60. What I'm going to do is maybe for the next live stream, and you guys will see it in the published content on Zach Talks Pixel. On Zach Talks Pixel, you'll get the full res 4K 30 video that I was trying to show you. But what I'll do is I'll see about exporting those videos down to 1080p 30 and 60 for the next live stream, if that's your preference as well. But let's go back to the rest of the photos here so you guys can have an idea of the pictures and videos taken. So thank you, my project. I really appreciate that. Okay, going back to the rest of the photos here. So you guys can see here's the information. You can see Google Pixel 7a, all the information. You can see where it was taken. This is just outside Canmore, along Highway 1. I always like looking at this information. So we'll go ahead and close off that info. But another thing I wanted to point out is the zooming. Moving vehicle, we're still getting great details like that. You know, and I just think that's really amazing. I think she was using just the regular. There's that video trying to play again. I think she was using just the regular lens there. She wasn't using the zoom or anything like that. Anyway, we'll keep on going through here. There's another video of. Anyway, there's the. Excuse me. There's the chalet where we stayed. So literally these little things just kind of all spread out and everything. Lots of space. We weren't right next to anybody and whatnot. And then another look at the cottage. So I took some pictures. I keep on saying cottage, but they call it a chalet. Chalet, cottage, what do you want to call it? It was a place. Anyway, first selfie. And this is just handheld. I pushed that 0.7, you know, the wider angle there for the selfie and took the photo. So my sister up here, her son, my mom, my wife, my son, me, my daughter, my dad, my brother-in-law, and my niece. That's an old spaghetti factory. And it's kind of fun. You can see right down here my wife's phone in the Caseology case there. She loves the Pixel 7. And she keeps on eyeing the 7a now because she likes the smaller size. I told her no. So I took some close-up pictures of food. You guys know how we do it. I love taking the food pictures. They had some awesome bread there. My son had a pizza. I'm sorry if you're hungry, but now we're going through food photos. Zach takes pictures of food, okay? I think it's a great demonstration of the cameras. My daughter had a cheese pizza. My dad had the spaghetti, the classic spaghetti and meatballs. Okay, I had what did I have? The fettuccine alfredo seafood. Seafood out of fettuccine. Had shrimp, had scallops and everything like that. It was good. And then we had, I can't remember what they call this. It was some sort of ice cream. And I'm not a fan of mint, but this was okay. I had a couple and I gave the rest to my daughter. Because, you know, you got to watch the waistline, people, right? Got to keep this trim figure of mine. Anyway, taking a walk down Banff Avenue. And why did I? Okay, so I put this one in. I should have grabbed the other one without my son's eyes closed. But anyway, Banff Avenue. They got most of the street kind of, Banff Avenue is the main street or main avenue that goes through the town. So you got the mountains everywhere and everything. So this, I showed you guys this on Twitter. This is such a great demonstration of this, and I didn't even think it was gonna. I wasn't even planning for this. Google Photos popped up and said, "Hey, you should use Magic Eraser on this." I'm like, okay. So literally, open up the camera, hit edit, and it already gave me a bunch of suggestions for Magic Eraser before, after. I couldn't believe it. Like, I've used Magic Eraser before, but wow. Just wow. That is just so good. And I know a lot of pixel peepers could zoom in this and that, but at first glance, you look at this, like if we were to crop this, you know, a little bit and everything, this is great. This is absolutely awesome. And then when I showed, you know, some of the friends and whatnot and family that we had over here the last couple of days, they were just like, wow. My wife also took some fabulous photos and used Magic Eraser to get rid of people when we were walking up and down in the town there. And just a terrific example of what the Tensor 2 chip can do and what Google Photos can do and whatnot. It's really great for stuff like this. I mean, look, you got all these people here, there's people back here, and then poof, they're erased. I feel like Schwarzenegger in Eraser is erased. I love it. I think it's great. I think that's such a great example. So a few more selfies, you know, get in the sky there real good. It's not overly saturated or anything like that. It looks very natural. It looks really, really good. I like taking photos like this. I don't know why. But basically, put the phone really close to a tree, tap on the tree, and away we go. You can see the clouds here coming through with the sun. Zoomed out a little bit. So this is basically a zoomed in, but I purposely tapped on the clouds to kind of give it this cool look here with the sun going behind. We were waiting for the bus and everything like that. By the way, the transit system in Banff is amazing. We didn't have to drive anywhere. Plus, driving and parking downtown Banff is really expensive. But yeah, you're encouraged to take the bus or bike around or whatnot. Again, this is the high school. This is their field. See, the grass came through real nice. It's actually growing around there. They got it kind of marked off there because that's where the deer and the elk come through and whatnot. And then a little bit zoomed in. So this is out and then zoomed in 2x. So this is a regular, just a regular 1x and then 2x. Penny's asking, do you use the tap to focus or just shoot? I normally tap, just a single tap on whatever it is. But if I'm in a pinch, I just double press that power button to launch the camera and shoot. 90% of the time, I'm good with whatever it does, kind of thing. And I know some people will say, well, you know, I like to be able to have manual, this and that. I mean, you can certainly still do that. But for what the Pixel does, just straight out of the box, kind of thing, amazing stuff. I hate this song. We're gonna skip that. There we go. All right, continuing through here. Like I said, this is our backyard. And then a little bit zoomed in. There's these wandering paths that went through, and then the mountains in the backgrounds. I'll show you guys some more pictures here in a bit. This is the playroom there at the resort that we stayed at. They had a pool area and whatnot. I don't think I got any pictures of the pool area. Some selfie action there with my daughter. Back end of what the chalets look like. Again, you get in the shadows, all that detail. Just really natural and perfect. I took this picture a couple times, and it was nice because the Pixel will allow you through Google Photos there to kind of pick a frame or pick like your best shot. It's called Top Shot, right? So you can pick your favorite frame, and I wanted to make sure I got the provincial flag for Alberta, Canada, and then UK flag there, and because of our connections there across the pond there. So that was good. And then just driving along, just took the camera, took a picture real quick outside the. And then this is the video that you guys will see on Twitter, 4K 30. It's a little jittery here. I can't play through that, as you guys know, but if you get a second, go over on Twitter, take a look at that. So that's the slow. These are slow motion videos. We're not going to show you because they don't translate very well. We found a walking stick for my wife. She's a little slow moving. She's still recovering from a couple things. So yeah, we found her a stick, and we asked her. We begged my wife, "Will you say thou shalt not pass?" And she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. A little selfie action there downtown. Again, going for a walk there. Beard came through pretty good. Dinner with Dad with everybody. Now, remember I told you guys about the frame thing? Some issues. Okay, there is a better photo of us together where this is captured, but my dad is making the weirdest face, and I didn't want to show that one. But you can see that sometimes it still has that issue compared to the photo I showed you guys before in the studio. So it can still happen. Just something they got to work on. Hopefully we see improvement in the future here. Prime rib. If you're not a meat lover, sorry. I haven't had a prime rib or a steak in forever, and so when I had the opportunity to have a prime rib, I did. Especially when my dad is paying. He decided to pay for dinner. So yes, it was really good. And no, it's not raw. It's medium rare. There's a big difference. Okay. And yes, it was awesome. Okay. Overlooking town of Banff. This is one of the major intersections. When the lights turn green, kind of thing for pedestrians, you can walk all different directions. The streets are kind of closed off for people and whatnot, make it nice and wide open. We went to the sweet shop. It's like one of like 6 different candy stores up along the boulevard there in downtown. Now my wife has the same photo that my son took of her, and we erased this person. And I wish I had the photo here, so I'll have to show you guys some other time. But they had these little cart things up and down with flowers in them. You can take photos and everything like that. So I think this would be a great photo if I were just to crop this out. I know that my wife has the one where this is magic erasered out. I forgot to ask her for it. But yeah, Wolf Street, Banff Avenue is one of the major intersections there. Again, looking out down the pathway out the back end of the chalet. Some selfie action. This mountain back here, I'm pretty sure this is Tunnel Mountain. In Banff there. It's one of the major mountains. Again, overlooking. I mean, this looks like a portrait. This looks like a painting, right? Pretty crazy. So this is regular. This is the ultra wide. And the one thing I will point out is in the past, not just with Pixels, but with a lot of phones, when you go from this to an ultra wide, sometimes your blues and your greens, they darken up. Sometimes they just do weird things. And now, like, I don't know if Geonosis is still in the chat. I think you'll agree. Uh-oh, did you do something to Penny? I don't see what's going on the other screen there. But anyway, I thought the blues and everything are still coming through. Yeah. So I think, Geonosis, I think you'll agree. And I know because you're a stickler for this kind of thing. That sometimes when you're going from a regular to an ultra wide, sometimes something happens to the blues or greens, and as far as I'm concerned, as far as I can tell, there's consistency, right? I think it looks great. I really do. I think that's a zoomed in, or maybe that's the same angle. Yeah. And then this right here, I took a couple. This right here is an astrophotography photo. And everybody I talked to that's looked at this photo, and again, I don't know why it became a video, they're convinced that that's a shooting star, and I don't think it is. I think it's a bug. See that go right there? I think that's a bug. I really think that's a bug. I don't know what this is. This is either Mars or Venus. It's either Mars or Venus, and I wish I could tell you what direction I was facing. I don't even know if I can bring up... I don't know if it'll be labeled there in terms of direction. Let's take a look here. So Tunnel Mountain Drive. I was facing out this way, so looking south? Looking south. So if anybody knows their astrophotography, let me know what this is. It's either Mars or Venus, I've been told by a couple of people. And I wish I was paying more attention, but I was more or less concerned about pushing the button and sitting down before wiggling the camera, which was nice. By the way, if you're doing astrophotography, set up a 3 or 10 second countdown so you have time to sit down and take that photo. But yeah, Beautiful. Came out great. I can still tweak this and maybe darken up the sky, bring out the stars a little bit more, but terrific, terrific. Had a coffee. That was Sunday morning. Cafe latte or something like that. And eggs Benedict. Salmon eggs Benedict, people. And then after that, we had to rush back to Calgary, which was unfortunate because we had a lot planned for that day and the next day. So, yeah, there you guys go. Little photo album. But again, I think these are kind of typical examples of what you would see most people use a Pixel for. You know, they want to capture those moments. They want to not have to worry about different settings and things like that. These are all just point and shoot, maybe a tap to focus. You know, they want to be able to take the photo and remove some people and just have those memories and whatnot. And it makes for a great conversation, you know, piece kind of thing. So there you guys go. I hope that was a good demonstration. Sorry about the video. It'll be in the video I'm doing for Zach Talks Pixel. But so after 3 days, I meant what I said. After 3 days, I really meant what I said, people. Uh-oh. To the other brands. I'm dead serious. This, in my opinion, Pixel 7a, in my opinion, steps up the game for what a mid-ranger should offer. 90 hertz refresh. By the way, I can't tell the difference between the 90 hertz refresh on this and the 120 refresh on my Pixel 7 Pro. Flat screen, 64 megapixel main shooter, wireless charging. The list goes on, and it's been terrific. Absolutely terrific. This is a common complaint about Pixel updates. Why does the Pixel take so long to update? Well, the reason why is so that you can continue to use your Pixel, continue to do what you normally need to do over the course of 1, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. And then all you have to do is hit that restart and you're done. That's it. Whereas I know with other devices, it's download, then install, then it's all done within, what, 5-10 minutes kind of thing. Pixels purposely do it slower so they can continue using it. Now, you can certainly sideload your Pixel update if you need to. I've never done it myself. I don't know how to do it. What is this? But you can certainly do that and do it faster. I think Geonosis has done it side loading a few times. I think 8 has. Maybe I could be wrong. I know Geonosis has. So you certainly can side load and update your Pixel that way. And certainly when the updates come down, you can download those directly from Google and do it yourself. I don't know how. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it because things can go weird. It's been known to happen. But, you know, do your research. You can do it faster if you want to that way. Yeah. Don Cova says, wireless is bedside at night for me only. Yeah, basically, that's for me too. Like, I have it in the studio, and I have it beside the bed. And, sorry, maybe that's not it. And also, my little stand next to my recliner when I'm watching TV kind of thing. So I can just put the phone down and let her do a thing. What's the plan? What's happening? Well, because of circumstances with the family, things are kind of all over the place right now. So I'm trying to squeeze in content when I can here and there. I'm going to be taking some clips from today's live stream, this live stream right here. I'm putting up on Shorts and Reels and TikTok, whatnot. I'm still kind of experimenting with Reels and TikTok, deciding where I want to put more of my energy. There is planned published content for tomorrow on Zach Talks Pixel. The video's uploaded. I just don't sure if I want to release it kind of thing. But yeah, there's going to be more content in terms of a week later, 2 weeks later of use and whatnot of the Pixel 7a. So I'm not sure how many more live streams there will be on this. There will be more, but not as much as you guys might be used to. Of course, I'm on the Twitter there and whatnot, so you guys know where to follow me there on Twitter, Instagram, whatnot. It's always at Zach Talks Tech. And of course, Zach Talks Pixel. So content coming in those directions. And what else? We got some cases coming in. Again, big thanks to where is it? We got the later case. We got videos coming up on them. So ew, it's gross. I need to get this wiped down. But there's the blue one. We talked about this last week, whatnot. That's the blue, really blue. It's looking kind of grody. So we got cases from Later Case. Caseology sent me stuff. If you're a case manufacturer and you've made something for the 7A, let me know. Fire over your stuff. We'll give them some review and whatnot. And I've got some accessory stuff coming up. I've got some wireless charging things lined up in terms of like choices and things like that and speeds and whatnot. So that was on the list, along with what Ace said there. I'm just looking at my list here. What else do we have happening? Today's Wednesday, so maybe another live stream this week. There'll definitely be one on Sunday for sure. But the majority of the rest of the Pixel content will be over on Zach Talks Pixel. So if you're not subscribed there, you know what to do. Hopefully you got the notifications turned on. We got to ramp things up. That's the whole point of doing stuff with the Pixel 7a here, is just to ramp things up, get things going there again. We should expect our first update for the 7a and all the other Pixels from 4a and up to be on the first Tuesday of June, which is... it's not next week. June 6th. June 6th. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be our next update. And I believe that's going to be a feature update. So not only will it be a security update, it will also be a feature update, I believe. Is it June? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's June. As I said at the top of the show here, I appreciate everybody coming through. I really appreciate all the condolences. I've passed everything on to my wife and whatnot. It's a sad state, but it's unfortunately the way it is. But it doesn't go unnoticed. So we really appreciate it, and we feel the love. Thank you. So there's 3 solid days. Little mini review of the Pixel 7a. I still have more coming up. Cases and all sorts of stuff. The extended content, the majority of the content, published content, will be over on Zach Talks Pixel. We'll be doing more streams and answering more questions. I got more things coming down the road. I got things. I don't know if you guys can see this back. There's a monitor thing back here that got sent out from Espresso Displays. We'll be doing stuff with them. All sorts of stuff lined up. I'm glad to be back in the mode here. And yeah, still trying to figure out with the Reels and TikTok thing. Well, that's kind of weird, Reels and TikTok. That's why I do the real content here and whatnot. YouTube is my bread and butter. Literally. I'm so hungry. I'm kidding. Anyway, people, I'll let you guys go. You guys all have a awesome rest of your Wednesday. Next stream will be probably Sunday. Not sure what time, but it'll be Sunday. Have your notifications on. And I'll see you guys on the socials and everything, okay? Pixel 7a. It's awesome. Take care. Cheers.